Hi, this is Jarrod, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. And don't forget to check out the description in this video if you're interested in supporting my channel, checking out bonus free selections, or purchasing my full card analysis from Southern California. Now I'm going to be doing my annual full cards, Triple Crown full cards from Churchill Downs, Pimlico, and Belmont for Derby, Preakness, and Belmont Stakes Day this spring. And you can find those at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page. Extensive analysis will be in those full cards for all the Triple Crown runners, wagers for all the Triple Crown day races from each track, including double, pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, pick 6 tickets, trifectas, superfectas, and so much more. In the last 22 Triple Crown races, I've given out 9 winning trifectas, 5 winning superfectas that have paid well into the thousands. So if you're interested in those, check those out at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page. Until I see you next time, good luck at the races. Jarrod Horak for therunawayhorse.com. This is my second Oaks and Derby points race video this week. I just covered from Aqueduct. I did the Gazelle and the Wood Memorial. This video I'm going to do the Ashland and Bluegrass from Keeneland, and then my final video I'll do the Santa Anita Oaks, Santa Anita Derby. So let's dive into the analysis of this one. This one is actually going to be a Friday, Saturday analysis. The Ashland will be run on Friday, April 8th. The Bluegrass Stakes, Saturday, April 9th. So let's do the Ashland first. It's going to be the 9th race, the Grade 1 $600,000 Ashland, 3-year-old fillies on the road to the Kentucky Oaks, 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. Miss Mattie B is number 1. She's 15-1 morning line, and I think she's better on turf. She broke her maiden in a turf route last fall at Del Mar. Then they threw her on the Oaks Trail. She was a distant third in the Santa Ynez. That was in January, and then in February, they shipped her to Fairgrounds. In the Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra Stakes. She had a slow start, 11-horse field. She finished 5th. So now she's going to need a better start in here. She did set the pace and duel in the Santa Ynez. I think she does like to rally from off the pace. I think she's better on turf. I think if they don't qualify for the Kentucky Oaks, they're certainly going to be moving back to the turf course with this filly, I'm pretty sure. Number 2, Interstate Daydream. She's 5-2 morning line. She hasn't done much wrong for Brad Cox. Won her debut. Stalking the pace, 5.5 furlongs at Belmont in the Adirondack Stakes, second time out at Saratoga. She rallied from last to finish second there, and then she stretched out in distance in her first start this year at Oaklawn Park at 1 mile and a 16th, optional claiming company. She stalked slow fractions. She pulled well clear. She won by 8 lengths. That was a strong effort. The pace will be quicker this time, but she's versatile and she's got upside, and she earned improved speed figures in all 3 of her starts for Brad Cox. Number 3, Awake at Midnyte. Doug O'Neill trains this one. She ran well in all 4 starts. Her first start was on dirt in a sprint, and she won that one at Santa Anita by a neck. Jimmy Durante, a 1-mile turf race, second time out. She was second by a nose. Santa Ynez, she finished second, beaten 3/4 of a length. She was well in front of Miss Mattie B, number 1 in this race that day. And then the Rachel Alexandra Stakes, she was third in that one. So Awake at Midnight's got some tactical speed, but the Rachel Alexander wasn't that fast of a race. She's going to have to run faster. Number 4, Nest, a solid contender. She's my right now. She's my top Kentucky Oaks contender on my list, and you can check out my Kentucky Oaks blogs and my Kentucky Derby blogs as well at therunawayhorse.com on my Kentucky Derby 2022 page. So all my Oaks and Derby blogs are there. Nest is currently my top-ranked Kentucky Oaks contender. She hasn't done much wrong in her career. She's 3 for 4. The only time she lost was in the Tempted Stakes. She was third, beaten 3/4 of a length. She was grinding away, and that was her shortest race. She just ran out of ground that day. The Demoiselle, 1 mile and an 1/8, she was hung out to dry. That's when I put her on my Oaks list. She was just hung out to dry. She was out in the parking lot. She was really wide that day, and she was able to get the job done by a neck anyway. And there wasn't much pace on, so that was really a good effort, and she was the favorite in there. And then in the Suncoast Stakes last time, she was my top choice there. She stalked the pace. She romped that day at 1 mile and 40 yards. So I think 1 mile and an 1/8 or longer for her. She's going to love the 1 mile and an 1/8 distance of the Kentucky Oaks. maybe a race like the Alabama at 1.25 miles this summer. She's going to love those longer distances. I'm only concerned with the shorter stretch at Keeneland at 1.16 miles that maybe she'll run out of ground, but she's got a lot of talent. Number 5, Sterling Silver, 15-1 morning line, won her first 2 sprints, stretched out last time in the Busanda in the Busher at 1 mile. She ended up trailing in that race, so she seems up against it in here. Number 6, Happy Soul, she's really fast early. She likes to get out there and set the pace. She won a couple sprints, 5 and 5.5 furlongs last year at Belmont, just using blazing speed to run them off their feet. And then she returned at Oaklawn Park in a little stakes race. She stalked and she won easily by 3 lengths. My main concern, if you look at her pace ratings and her late pace ratings, so her early and late pace ratings, her early pace ratings are really high and her late pace ratings are pretty low. So that she just kind of just goes out there and runs as fast as she can, as long as she can. And I don't know that that strategy is going to work here. She's going to need to get some kind of breather and she's almost certainly going to the front. And if she can get some kind of breather in this race, maybe she can hang on, but I have my doubts that she can handle this distance. But again, if she gets loose and she's able to relax a bit, they might not get her. Number 7, Cocktail Moments, is a late runner for Ken McPeak. She really looked good in her debut, winning by 9 lengths. Untappable Stakes, second time out, she was 3rd. And then she occupied that same spot in the Devona Dale Stakes last time out. She does really lack speed, and from an outer post, she's going to be probably losing ground and trying to rally wide. Heavenly Hellos is number 8, 50-1 morning line, 8 starts with a win, 2 seconds and a third. Just doesn't look quick enough on paper and looks better on all-weather ground. So now we'll give out the top contenders in this race. Happy Soul will be my 3rd choice. I respect her speed. I'm just not quite sure she's got the stamina to win this one, but she'll be just be going as fast as she can and try to wire the field. My 2nd choice in here, I was really torn between the Brad Cox runner and Nest. Interstate Daydream is my 2nd choice. She really ran well last time out. The pace will be quicker this time, and she could get the jump on Nest, and maybe this is a good distance for Interstate Daydream, but I can't go against Nest. She is my top rank Oaks contender. She's very talented, and I'd expect that she's going to be running on and running a good race here, and she just might win this one because she's better than these. But if she does run out of ground and she finishes well, she could still be an Oaks contender because she's going to like that added ground. So Nest will be my top contender in the Ashland. Now for Saturday, April 9th, let's do the Bluegrass Stakes, the Grade 1 $1 million Bluegrass. 3-year-olds, 1 1/8 on the main track at Keeneland, 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time is the post time. Commandperformance is number 1. At one time, he was my Kentucky Derby number 1 contender, just based on his potential and pedigree, and I was expecting him to get better. He really ran well in the Champagne as a maiden, 2nd time out, going from 6 furlongs to a mile. It was miles best of the rest, and 2nd that day. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile stalked the pace wide. I thought he would be closing in that one, but he didn't. But the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, now in retrospect, has not turned out to be a strong race. We didn't know that at the time, but now with the evidence coming in with horses running back, it just doesn't seem like a strong race. And he was expected to easily win a maiden route at Tampa Bay Downs on March 12th, but he couldn't win. He couldn't catch the loose front runner Fenwick there, and he just did hold 2nd. He's going to have to go much better. Obviously, Todd Pletcher is very high on this horse, son of Union Rags, Tappett's the damn sire. Certainly bred for the distance, bred to be a good one, but he just hasn't won yet. I wouldn't be shocked if he maybe outran his odds, saved all the ground, and maybe picked up 3rd or 4th. But anything more than that, it would be a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't mind seeing him run well, but I can't pick him on top. Number 2, Fenwick, is probably going to be part of the pace. They added blinkers last time out, and he just dusted Commandperformance there. There's some quicker horses in here. Maybe they want to try to go to the lead. I'm not sure that he's quick enough to get the lead. Maybe they're just going to gun out there and try to do what they did last time. But he's going to have to run faster to beat these. Trademark can show speed, just a question of Willie. In his 2 races that he won at 1.16 miles last year, he went wire to wire both times. But then in his last 2 starts against Classic Causeway, he did not get to the front, and he did not run particularly well. He did run better in the Tampa Bay Derby than he did in the Sam F. Davis. But it's asking a lot, I think, for him to completely turn it around after those below par efforts. Zandon is a big contender in here. Now, my top 3 horses in here, I really like all of them, and it was really a crapshoot on which one I was going to pick on top, and I did use value to make my final decision. But Zandon's certainly one of my top contenders in here. He's been part of my Kentucky Derby top 5 contenders for quite some time. And his career debut was good at 6 furlongs. He stalked the pace. He looked very professional going away that day, which looked like he was going to enjoy added ground, and he did enjoy added ground in the Grade 2 Remsen. He stalked slow fractions, and it was a real battle with Mo Donegal, and those two were miles clear of the rest, but he lost the head bob, and he missed by a nose. Then he returned in the Grade 2 Risen Star. That's been a productive race, and in that race, he was expected to stalk the pace like he did in his first 2 starts, but he broke slow. He didn't have a good start, and he had to rally from 10th place. He ended up finishing 3rd, and he made a long, wide, sustained run there. That was a nice effort. He just got tired at the end. First start after a layoff there. So now this is his 3rd race at 1 mile and an 1/8. So if he can get a better break, he's got a good post position under his new rider, Flavien Prat. I expect that he's going to sit a good trip stalking the pace, and I would not be surprised at all if he won. Number 5, Volcanic. He's 20-1 morning line. He's one that comes in from Tampa Bay Downs. He was 3rd in the Sam F. Davis. He broke his maiden at 1 mile at Gulfstream Park before that. I just think he's a bit up against it in here. He'll probably be sitting in mid-pack, but some others look more interesting. Number 6, Emmanuel. He has a lot of talent for Todd Pletcher. He won his career debut going basically wire to wire by more than 7 lengths in a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream, shipped to Tampa Bay Downs, optional claiming race. He controlled a slow pace, and he won easily there. And then came the Fountain of Youth. Actually picked him on top in the Fountain of Youth. But that day, from post 8 in an 11-horse field, the pace was contested. Multiple horses wanted to get involved. Emmanuel did not have the best start. So he was away sluggishly. He was just super wide after that. That just kind of cost him, because then he had to try to get up there on the pace, and he was parked out at least 5 wide. He was trying to get involved. He made a middle move. He was right there in the stretch, but he couldn't go with the top contenders late. Simplification won that one. He ended up finishing 4th. He just lost 3rd in the late stages. I thought that was a good effort, his stakes debut. I think the pace, he's got a better post, and I think the pace is going to be much more to his liking in this race. Number 7, Golden Glider. He just doesn't have any speed. He was 4th in the Tampa Bay Derby, 5th in the Sam F. Davis. Those races weren't particularly strong, as Classic Causeway proved in the Florida Derby. He just wasn't up for that company. He was so much better than the competition in those races, but he was no threat for better company. I think that's what's going to happen with Golden Glider. Don't really think he's going to get involved in here. Maybe the same case can be said for Ethereal Road for Wayne Lucas, 20-1 morning line. Kind of going to be rallying from off the pace, but he doesn't come out of the strongest races. His maiden race was really visually impressive. That was in January when he was way back, and he rallied strongly. And it wasn't like he was getting a pace meltdown. There wasn't a super strong pace going on, but he just bulldozed those horses, and he won by 4 lengths. That was an excellent effort. And he almost won the Rebel Stakes last time, but that wasn't the strongest renewal of the Rebel. He's going to have to run faster in here. I think he's got some ability. I just don't think he's as good as the top contenders, because the top contenders in this race are very talented, and I think they're all going to fire. Number 9, Rattle and Roll, has lost his way since winning the Breeders' Futurity last year. But then looking back at the Breeders' Futurity, just like the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, we didn't know it at the time. I don't think that race was particularly strong. The Classic Causeway did come out of that race, and he's done okay this year. But the other runners really haven't, including Rattle and Roll. He was nowhere in the Fountain of Youth. He was just a flat 4th in the Louisiana Derby. He didn't get a lot of pace help there. I think he'll get maybe a little pace help in here, but I don't think it's going to be an electric pace by any stretch of the imagination. They're putting blinkers on. They're bringing him back pretty quick. I just think they're trying to take a shot and get him to qualify for the Derby, but I don't really like him. The 10, Smile Happy, definite win contender in here. I've always liked this one. He's right now my top-ranked Kentucky Derby contender, and he's looked really good in his mile in his 16th debut at Keeneland, rallying from 6th to win by a good 5 lengths that day. Second time out, Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. Now that's turned into a very productive race. Smile Happy won that one. Classic Causeway was 2nd. White Abarrio 3rd there. White Abarrio has won the Holy Bull and Florida Derby this year. Smile Happy came back, and he, in the Risen Star, was never going to catch Epicenter. Now Epicenter was loose on the lead there. Smile Happy ran well to finish 2nd from an outer post, and now he should be rallying again from an outer post. Just a question of what kind of trip can he work out from this outer post in a race that might not have a ton of pace. Number 11, Blackadder, probably up against it. El Camino Real Derby, he won that one. He looked good there, but he really got a good trip there from off the pace. He didn't have to rally wide. He was able to save some ground. So that was a nice effort against lesser company. I think he's up against it. Grantham stuck out in post 12. Not a good post for him at all. He was second in the Tampa Bay Derby. From the inside post, he saved all the ground behind Classic Causeway, sitting a dream trip, and now he's out in post 12. So parked out here, he's in trouble. So now we'll give out my top contenders in here. And my top three, it was really just a coin flip between them. I might even box the three in a trifecta. Don't typically play that way, but I really like the top three horses in here. I think they're all going to give a good account of themselves. But my fourth choice, Commandperformance, I'll throw him in as a long shot just because saving ground, he's highly regarded. I don't want to completely give up on him yet. I would have rather seen him in a maiden race, but he could be fourth best in here for sure. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd throw him in tries and supers underneath. Now for my top three. I'll make Smile Happy my third choice, and only because of price and post position. Really like this one. I would not be surprised if he ran well here, and then he would run really well in the Kentucky Derby as well. He's got a lot of talent. I like Smile Happy from off the pace, but he's going to offer less value than my other contenders. So it was really close between my top two. Zandon will be my second choice. I almost picked him on top. I picked him on top in the Risen Star. I picked him on top in the Remsen. He ran well both times. Too good to lose in the Remsen and then in the Risen Star after that bad start. Good post. If he breaks cleanly, would not be surprised at all if he won this race. I'm going to go with Emmanuel. I picked him last time, and I think just based on the pace scenario of this race, it's going to be much different than the Fountain of Youth. It was more contested. Multiple horses wanted to be part of the pace. I don't think that's the case this time. Luis Saez could get aggressive. His debut, he went to the front. In his other race, he went to the front. And his debut pace ratings were okay. So I think that he doesn't need the lead, but I think he could run much better than he did in the Fountain of Youth. But like I said, my top three, coin flip, any of the three could end up winning this race. So that will wrap up this video, and I'll be back with the Santa Anita Oaks and the Santa Anita Derby next.